So it doesn't matter who you are. We have 5 ecological regions, which means that if we say the maximum size of a farm is 500 hectares, whether you're white or black, it is 500 hectares. But if a person in the past had 20,000 hectares and they reduce him to 500 hectares, he gets angry or she gets angry. It's natural. Anyway, that is now behind us. We're happy we don't have those cases anymore. My brother mentioned about BIPA. Yes, in the process of land reform, some issues happened where farms were lost. And under my administration, we have now agreed to do compensation of those farms. And that 3 possibilities where you want to recover a farm: either recover the farm, if it is possible to recover it, and remove the people who are there. If it is not possible, you consider us giving you compensation. If you don't need compensation, you need another farm of equal size. So there are 3 options. Or you say, okay, I just want compensation. We have the 3.5 billion, which you have agreed with farmers, and that is done. I'm giving this political history, which perhaps some of you are not clear about, so that you're all very clear about where we are coming from and where we are going. Of course, we cannot live in the past, we have to live in the present. But we should not make the mistakes of the past, because we must continuously know about it and avoid them as we go forward. Now, we have been food insecure for many years, but we then decided that because we're isolated, we need to think outside the box and achieve food security in the country by ourselves. And we realized to do so. I have Dr. Masuka, who is here, so now, is a specialist in agriculture. That's it. So the first thing we did was to say how much grain do we want to feed the nation, and it's then determined what is the yield per hectare of grain. So we know the average yield. So how many hectares do we want under irrigation because of climate change? Sometimes we have drought, sometimes we don't have drought. But you need to have a model where whether there's drought or there's no drought, you still have food security guaranteed. So we have constructed dams throughout all our provinces and enough hectares of land under irrigation to guarantee that we have food. The first achievement we've done is this season. For all the existence of our country, we've never been able to produce enough wheat for ourselves. So we introduced a model. We didn't know there would be a war in what do you call it, Ukraine? Yeah, that side. So we didn't know, because in the past we got our wheat from Ukraine, our fertilizer from Russia, throughout. But we began a program to be self-sufficient in wheat. And now, for the first time, and going forward, this year we have surplus of 1 month, but now I was telling him yesterday, it's actually possibly 2 months excess of wheat per year, which we have now produced. As a result of mechanization and the modernization of agriculture and having irrigation designed to make sure that we have what we want. The same with grain, we are going to achieve food security. That is in that area. We have different weather patterns in the country where we can also grow horticulture. And I understand, despite our differences with the British, our, what do you call it, berries? You should not worry, I'm a villager. I'm a country villager. There's something called the blueberries, which we export to London. And the British like it so much, despite the differences. So we grow a lot of horticulture. And it's a vast area. You can, tobacco. I think we produce, from what I'm told, I don't know whether it tells me the truth, but I think it tells me the truth, that our tobacco is one of the best in the country for blending. I don't know what it is. Again, there's an area there with vast areas. If somebody wants to come and get land and estate and so on, you come and we agree, we will give you the land and you can produce. That is in the area of land. Livestock, the same. There was a time in the past when we used to have 11 million 11,000 tons of beef into the EU and so on. So again, we have now a program to restock our livestock, and we are happy that it is growing on an yearly basis. And again, we've resuscitated our cold storage commission and so on. Almost everything you can think about in terms of agriculture is on the rebound. There was a time when the economy actually totally collapsed, but now we hit the bottom and we stabilized, but we were on the growth trajectory. Just last year alone, for the first time, we had an 8% economic growth GDP.
8.5.
8. Oh, he's correcting me, he's my professor. So 8.5 growth, which was one of the biggest, fast growing economies in our region, I think, possibly on the continent. And we are happy that we are doing that because we are very focused, but we are very clear that it is necessary to create an economic environment, an investment environment where global capital can come in safely and help us increase our pace of development and modernization of our country by support of global capital coming into the country. But in its absence, we have said we focus into internal resources to grow our economy, modernize our economy. And also, of course, all our universities are now geared to study studies which help the country. For instance, I don't think they like me, but we say, what do we say, 1,000 items or 3,000 items which we import. We excite the students and say, if you can choose an item on this list which you can produce or innovate around that item, here are funds for free funds. It's very exciting. You never know, my brother, how intelligent our young African girls and boys on this continent. If they are given the opportunity, they create wonders for you. So, investors, Zimbabwe is open for business. I was talking about agriculture. Then I let him go to mining in case of time. In mining in Zimbabwe, you ask what we don't have. Don't ask what we have because we don't know everything. There's too much that we have. I understand we don't have the means of mines. No, it's not here. I understand we have something like 60 to 61 number of minerals in Zimbabwe. Some were already extracting, but others we are told by our former masters that we have, but we don't have the technology, nor the skills, nor the capital to extract or exploit. So we are open now to have people come in. We have gold, diamonds, lithium, anyway, I can't count and finish. It is there. In the past, we had regulations regulating what we called indigenization. We scrapped that out. You come in and invest, yes, because we know as we invest, we gain technology, we gain skills, we gain employment, we gain royalties, and so on and so on. So it's now totally open in our the mining sector. We believe that, for instance, in the area of iron and steel, we had Zisco Steel, which was actually supplying steel in the region, but after sanctions, it collapsed. Now, with the internal dynamics which we have created, it is getting resuscitated. We have steel makers, which we also presented yesterday. It is expanding. We also have Dinson, which in 5 years will be producing, the next 5 years will be producing 600,000 metric tons of steel. Steel makers will do 300,000. But beyond 5 years, Dinson will go to 1 million metric tons. And we believe that after 5 years, 6 years from now, we will be the biggest steel makers on the continent, my brother.